Hey there, second grade. Today we are going to be working on page 765, and this is lesson 5 of chapter 12. Today we're going to be talking about faces, edges, and vertices. All right, on page 765. I usually actually like to skip these first page just because we usually talk about it as we keep going to the next page, but this one's a little bit more fun, so I'm going to go ahead and do it quickly. If you want to do it with me, it's just a dot to dot, and it's kind of fun because you're going to be making a shape. So start at 1, go over to 2, find 3, find 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 is over here, and then 9, 10, 11. And what shape did we make? This is a cube. Again, kind of fun because you get to actually make the cube. We are going to go ahead and go on to the next page, so page 766. And hopefully you've already grabbed your pencil so that way you can work along with me today. But we're going to go ahead and start here with our guided practice. And here it says, you can describe three-dimensional shapes by the number of faces, edges, and vertices. Faces, edges, and vertices. So we're going to go ahead and start off. It says a face is a flat surface. So a face, they're showing us, is over here. It's just the flat surface right here. This is our face. All right. An edge is where two faces meet. All right. So we've got some different edges on here. One of our edges would be right here. Another is here. It's showing us along the side here, we've got an edge. And then lastly is our vertex. A vertex is where three or more faces meet. All right, and so just to help us out with this, oops, I went blue. Sorry, 1 second. Just to show us real quick on here. So I'm going to color my faces this blue. All right, I'm just doing it real quick here. All right, and then I'm going to choose to make my edges this green. All right, so we've already got some of these edges in green. And then lastly, let's go ahead and check out a few vertex. So here I've got 1, 2, and 3. So there's a vertex right here. I've also got 1, 2, and then on the other side, another one. So there's a vertex here. Basically, this is wherever our corners are is going to be a vertex because that's where 3 are meeting together. All right, so that's our vertex. Number 1. All right, for number 1, and this is where it gets a little tricky because we don't have this in front of us, but we're basically looking for what are all the different sides of our cube. So the dotted lines help us because we can count them up. So I like to start on the outside. So wherever we've got our dotted lines, I'm going to put my markers for those. So I've got one face down here. On the side is another. On the back is another. All right. Then on top is one. This front is one. The side is one. All right. So how many did I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and 6. So we have 6 faces. All right. Now I need to figure out how many edges I have. Excuse me. This one's a little tricky because we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I like to just go ahead and carefully trace the lines when I'm counting these different parts. All right. Now my last one is how many vertices, so the points where they come together. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right. So I've got 6 faces, 12 edges, 8 vertices. All right. And again, I know it's a little tricky to see, especially on these smaller shapes, but this is just one of the easier ways for us to go through it is just to kind of count them up like this. All right, let's go ahead and look at number 2, a rectangular prism. So we've got a face as our bottom and our top. We've got the outside and outside, and then we've got the back and the front. How many faces did we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Just like before. Next, I'm going to do my edges, so I'm just going to trace my lines here. All right, so I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Ooh, just like before. Now I need to know how many vertices there are. So wherever my edges come together, wherever I have 3 faces come together is going to be a vertice, right? So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Just like our cube, we've got 6, 12, and 8. Well, let's go down to our pyramid, all right? Our pyramid. So for this one, how many faces do I have? Well, I have 1 on the base, 1 on the back, 1 on the side, 1 on the side. So we have 4 faces. How many edges do we have? Well, we're going to trace the lines, dotted line and solid line. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, so we've got 6 edges. All right. How many vertices do we have here? Well, let's count up wherever we've got 3 faces that come to a point. So 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. Lastly, we've got our sphere. Now, for our sphere, we talked earlier about how there are no faces on a sphere. So we're actually going to put in a 0 for the faces. When we talked before about the edges, without a face, we can't have 2 faces come together. So there are 0 edges. And then lastly, with no faces and no edges, we cannot have any vertices. So we actually have 0, 0, and 0 for our sphere. For your independent practice today, you're going to be on page 767, and I want you to do number 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12, and then you're going to do one more problem on the next page, number 13, all right? So I want you to go ahead, pause right now, do numbers 5 through 13 on your own. When you're done, go ahead and press play, and we will continue working on here, and you can check your work then. So pause right now and do 5 through 13. All right, hopefully you paused and were able to get those done. Now we're going to go through them. So for number 5, it says 0 faces, 0 edges, 0 vertices. Well, I can see that I've got a face on this one, so that's not going to work. I've got a face right here, so that's not going to work. The only one that this fits is our sphere, so we can go ahead and circle that. The next one, number 6, says 6 faces, 12 edges, and 8 vertices. Well, for this one, I'm just going to go ahead and start off with my vertices real quick. So let's go ahead and check out. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right, so that checks out. My next one, I do not have 8 vertices, so I'm going to cross that off. My next one over here, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that checks off so far. All right, let's go ahead and check our edges. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. All right, that checks out. And here I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. They check out so far. We got to check our 12. So there's 12 edges, so check. Now we got 6 faces. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, excuse me, and 6 faces on that one. This one's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So we're actually going to circle a rectangular prism and cube. I know you can't tell underneath all my colors here, but they are both going to fit that description. For number 7, it says we want 5 faces, 8 edges, and 5 vertices. So let's go ahead and start off with 5 faces. So on my first one, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 is the base. So that checks out. Here I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So that does not. Here I've got none. Well, let's double check our edges. We've got 1 edge, 2 edge, 3 edge, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So that checks out. And vertices 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we would circle our pyramid for that one. Number 8. Now this one's a little trickier because it doesn't just say 6 faces, it says 6 equal faces. So here I can see I've got a face right here, but is it the same as its base? No, it is not. So I'm going to cross that off. All right. My cone does not have 6 faces, so I'm not going to do that one. And when I check up here, well, my cube here's got, is this face the same as this one? Yeah, they're the same. They both will still have 12 edges and 8 vertices, so I can circle my cube. All right, for number 9, it says circle the objects that match the description. So 6 faces, 12 edges, and 8 vertices. Well, if I go back up here, and I'm going to just clear these real quick, just to help clear this up for us a little bit. So we had this one here, and there. All right, so I have 6 faces, 12 edges, 8 vertices. That was my rectangular prism, and then that was my cube. So when I come down here and check, I'm looking for a cube or rectangular prism. So, oh, hey, there's one right there and one right there. All right. For number 10, 0 faces, 0 edges. Well, that should be a sphere, right? Sphere. So a basketball, that would check out. And an orange, but not my party hat. All right. All right, for number 11, it says 6 faces, 12 edges, and 8 vertices. Well, a cone here, I already know, does not have 6 faces. And again, a cone here does not. 6 faces, 12 edges, and 8 vertices. If I go back up here, that would be a rectangular prism or a cube. And, oh, my paperclip holder would fit that description, wouldn't it? Perfect. All right. For number 12, it says more than 2 faces, more than 0 vertices. Well, my marker here has no vertices, right? So I'm going to cross that off. My Nalgene bottle here, same thing. It's a cylinder, so no, that does not. Here I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. I know there's another one on the other end. 5 vertices. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 faces. So that would check out. All right, let's do number 13. It says, Mindy drew 3 shapes below. Circle the shape that has 6 faces and 12 edges. 6 faces and 12 edges. Well, I'm going to just jump back real quick to the other page. 6 faces, 12 edges. I'm looking for a rectangular prism or a cube. So let's see. Sphere would not be that, right? So it's not going to be my sphere. It's not going to be a pyramid. This rectangular prism is the one that would check out for that. All right. Hopefully you were able to go through and check those with me. Your homework for today is going to be on page 769 and 770. You can go ahead, do these practice problems, and just like we've been saying, when we come back to school, make sure you bring your homework with you, and we will check your work then. Thanks so much for working hard with me today. We will see you again.